want to thank you all for coming. We just got some news that kind of threw me off a little bit. Hare Krishna. So we're moving from Raso Ritukuj to Jalangi down. This is our first program here. And they're not allowing the loudspeaker, which is okay, because such nice acoustics are here, so there's not a problem. So our program is that speaking is okay. Haribol, speaking is okay. Our program is that we leave our problems at the door. And if you like, you can pick them up on the way out, or you can just leave them there. We'll dispose of them. We come and we offer our hearts like flowers to the Supreme Lord at all of our kirtans. This is the point. So we don't want funeral marches. We don't want to come. It was Bhaktivinoda Thakur himself who said faith is one thing, but without enthusiasm, faith is useless. So we should be very enthusiastic during kirtan. We don't want to have funeral marches here. So we want to thank all of our kirtaniyas. I thought you weren't going to come. My heart was crying. I'm so glad you're here. We've instructed some of the kirtaniyas to pick it up a bit. I hope that doesn't offend any of you. But that's what we're going to do here when we meet. Very enthusiastic kirtans where our hearts can fly higher and higher. Okay? And my friend Nitay has just returned from a long trip. He's tired, but he's going to give it his all. I want you all to meet a very dear friend and senior Vaishnava, our Sripad Srauti Maharaj is here, and our Sripad Sarva-drik Prabhu is here. And we're very happy that our first kirtan here in Jalangi Dham is including them. So let us continue. We're going to have a very nice feast today, and it's the day before Ekadasi. So let us be prepared for that tomorrow.
What's the program now?
We're going to have kirtan, maybe 2 more kirtaniyas. Then we're going to speak a little Harikatha, and then we're going to take a feast. Very simple. What time is it? 12? No, 15. Yeah, one more. Somebody was complaining about this. In Mayapur.
Kirtan, very loud kirtan.
Yes.
And they're dancing. And in Mayapur, no.
Hare Krishna. No complaining. Let's just have this.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Where's the microphone? Oh. Well, I'm sure that woke everybody up. Where's this boy that lives next door?
Venu? Guru Maharaj is here. So.
We're going to have, I believe, 3 speakers today. I'm going to spend just 2 minutes and then we'll pass it off. In the last few weeks, some of you have not been there, and some of you have. We've discussed so many things. We've gone to the heavenly planets. We visited there the Gandharvas, the Vidyaharas, the Apsaras, the Kinnaras, and we discovered that no amount of time, no amount of material time has any real substance compared to eternity. So although they live for millions of years, billions of years, and in the higher heavenly planets they live for trillions of years, still, we discovered that going to heaven is like going on vacation. And as some of us have realized, coming back from vacation, your workload has doubled. And you wonder whether the trip was really worth it. So last time we went to the spiritual world and we saw the gopis right from the beginning of their song in Gopi Geet, Jayati Te, this first word in Gopi Geet. Jayati Te means winner. The gopis are saying, we're winners. Why? They're saying that we are, although we're sad, we're not giving up this fight, and we're not tired either. So in the 9th verse of Gopi Geet, Tava katam ritam tapta jivanam, Tava biriritam kalma sapaham, Shavana mangalam srimad bhuvigananti ye buddhi dakshana. They're saying we're getting newer and newer energy. Why are they not giving up? Why are they not tired? They're getting newer and newer energy. How? By hearing and speaking about Krishna. What about Krishna? His activities. By hearing and speaking about Krishna's activities, they're getting newer and newer energy. So this is a lesson for us all. I've coined a phrase. It's firefly-like, a firefly light like life. So although we don't live millions, billions, and trillions of years, we just have a short time here. We should be very enthusiastic to give it our all and go back home, back to Godhead. We're here in Mayapur, the land of Gaur. He took birth within walking distance of here. So we're very fortunate to be in Mayapur Dham, especially at this time. It's Kartik month. So, I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead. I'm already in Braj. We heard last week that Prabodhananda is saying if you serve Gaur, if you earnestly are serving Gaur, you'll find yourself in Raj. And if you're really serving Gaur, you'll find yourself in Braj tasting the service of Srimati Radharani. Prabodhananda Saraswati is saying, my dear sir, you're so learned. You're so exalted. You can do me one favor. Stop what you're doing. Forget everything you think you know and turn your attention to Gaur, to Lord Chaitanya. And if you do this, then the Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi will flow. So this is our gift from our acharyas. I hear so many people use this word, acharyas. But really, our Guru Varga, they're only trying to take us by the hand and take us back home, back to Godhead. We should be very attentive. So I'm going to end very quickly today because we have some very nice devotees here. Again, our Bhaktivedanta Srauti Maharaj is here, and a very senior Sarva-drik Prabhu is here. So without further ado, we will pass the mic to whomever of you two wishes to speak first. Okay, no fighting. I know you're very enthusiastic to take the mic. So, Sarva-drik? I'm going to remember that trick the next time.
Namasishtamanamati Sachiputamatra Sarupam Rupam Tasya Gajamurapuri Matarim Vaishnavatim Radha Kundam Girivaramaho Radhika Madhavasam Praptayasya Patita Kripaya Shri Gurintam Natosmi Tam Gopika Vishwaravesthanayanta Kesi Sevadikarini Guru Nijapada Padme Dasim Pradaya Kurumam Brajakanane Shri Radhangri Sevanarase Sukhidam Sukhatam Radha Sammukha Sangsaktim Sakhi Sangani Vasanim Tamaham Satatam Vande Madhavashaya Vigraham Vande Nanta Advutaishayam Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhum Nichopi Yat Prasada Sad Bhakti Shastra Pravartaka Nityananda Maham Nomi Sarvananda Karam Param Harinama Padam Devam Avaduta Shiromini Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama. You know, I was thinking about the devotees that were complaining about the intense kirtan. I should suggest maybe you should go to Benares and chant Om. This is the kirtan capital of the world, and you're disturbed by kirtan. What's wrong with you? Anyway, not to make offense to anybody, but I was thinking. I
just moved here. I don't want to get kicked out.
You're making such a disturbance, Maharaj. Shame on you. Anyway, Maharaj quoted a very beautiful verse. Tavakatamritam tapta jivanam kaviviriditam kalavasa. Such a beautiful, there's another interpretation for this verse. That if you hear this Harikatha, that you'll become miserable. You know this?
Miserable?
If you hear this Harikatha, you'll become very miserable. How is that? Because you'll never be happy in the material world. Rupa Goswami said, don't go see Shyam Sundar, who's standing on the bank of Keshi Ghat. Because if you go and see him, your whole material life is finished. And until we learn to cry for Krishna, my exalted godbrother, Srimad Gaur Govinda Maharaj used to say, I've opened a crying school to teach you how to cry for Krishna. I was just reading last night, I came across a very beautiful purport. And Srila Sanatana Goswami is saying in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, then unless you learn to cry for Krishna and experience this lolyam lalamasi, then you can't get Krishna. And as long as we have feeling for this world, as long as we feel ourselves happy here, I've got some money in the bank, got my wife, my husband, my kids, my job, people bow down, they say Hari Bol, or you're a Prabhupada disciple, you're sannyasi, GBC, temple president, regional secretary, blah, 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 blah. Who are we? Gopi Bhartu Padakamala or Dasa Das Anu Dasa. We have no other identity. And until we get that, until we understand that, we haven't understood anything. Nothing. Until we cry for Krishna, until we sing, Ainanda Tanuja Kinkar Patitam Mam Vishameva Mambudo. I've fallen into this world. What kind of world? Vishameva Mambudo. Poisonous, disastrous occurrence that I've fallen. This world is the most unhappy, most inauspicious condition for the Atma. Most inauspicious thing. And we think we're happy. Krishna says, Dukhalayam Shashvatam. Hello? We don't get it. We can't stay here and it's miserable. But we think, I'm happy. Unless we learn to cry for Krishna. We don't get it. Temporary and miserable. Unless we learn to cry for Krishna, then we'll never leave this world. So that day is a blessed day. And our sadhana is meant to bring us to that stage. So this is the process. Jagyai Sankirtana Praya Yajantihi Samedasa. They have this wonderful Harinam Sankirtan that happens every evening. Don't miss it sometime. I see some of you have been there. 4:30, 5 o'clock. Don't miss it. So I'm seeing these beautiful Gauranitai deities. Charming, attractive Gauranitai deities. And I was feeling like I should worship them. Then it hit me. Duh, what are you doing? You're chanting Hare Krishna in front of Gauranitai. Yajantihi Samed. How? Nama Sankirtanam Jak. The whole Bhagavatam ends with this. Nama Sankirtana Prayajantihi Samedasa. The whole Bhagavatam ends. This Nama Sankirtan is the perfection of our life. To chant Krishna's name in front of Gauranitai. And you get all success. Prabhupada said, just this one thing. Chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will give you all success. Why? Golokera Prema Dana Harinama Sankirtana. That the prema of Goloka comes how? How does it come here? Can you pick it off a tree? Can you go to Bhavanpukor and find it in a bazaar? Can you find it Amazon.in? Where will you find prema? The prema of Goloka, how does it come? Harinama Sankirtan. But what is our problem? Ratina Janmiloke Nitai. We don't care. We become distracted by the things of this world. My position, my respect, my money, my fame, my wife, my husband, my kids, my GBC, my president, my institution, my guru, blah, 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 blah. Will that help you? Your guru will help you, no doubt. But all these other things are simply falling through our fingers. Because our perception of life, we're all old men now. Look at us, wrinkled, gray. Our outlook on life is very different from yours as young men and young women. We're looking at the last end of our life. Maybe 5 years, 10 maximum. I turned 70 this year, Maharaj. We all turned, I think you also, Maharaj? 70 years old. You have 70 years have passed.
You have 5 years, I have 5 days.
5 days. I only have 5 minutes. What a way to go. So try and have our perspective on your life as a young person. How long can you stay? And what is the meaning to your life without promoting this process of self-realization, Harinam Sankirtan? Because this is the means to get Goloka Prema. There's nasteva, nasteva, nasteva. And I see devotees so extraordinary, kirtaniyas. When I see you, you're sent. Maybe you don't see. I see. You're sent by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to do this. About the time you could walk, you were playing mridanga and harmonium. And this is, Prabhupada said, this is the way that we spread Krishna Sankirtan mission. By culture, by music, by dance, by food, by drama, by art. People have no brain for philosophy in Kali Yuga. So how do we attract them with this? Beautiful music, heart-stirring music, soul-touching music, Lord's holy name. And this is how the Hare Krishna movement means Hare Krishna, not one particular institution. How the Hare Krishna movement will spread all over the world with this Nam Sankirtan. When I was a young devotee, we were doing the pick at a football game in Denver, Colorado, Denver Broncos. And there were 70,000 people in the stadium. And they're all roaring. It struck me. What if they were singing Krishna's name? Is this possible? Of course it is. And some of you will lead those kirtans. You're meant for that. You're meant to lead kirtan. You're meant to spread the holy name by doing it yourself. This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did. How did he spread the holy name? By doing it himself. So you're all young devotees, have such a bright future. Do this thing. Taste Goloka Prem and spread this Hare Krishna virus. It's very contagious. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
It's funny, I was thinking the same thing last night, that if some rapper or something, he can fill a whole stadium.
Yeah.
But what if the devotees could fill a whole stadium?
This will come. There's a story. I just saw.
This right here.
There is a devotees. I don't remember the details. The bottom line was some devotees were in a football stadium. It was a soccer game. And there was a devotee on the field. He thought there was going to be a music thing. He started chanting, and the whole, 30,000 African people that came to see a soccer game began to chant Hare Krishna because they've been doing so much prasadam distribution. And they all began chanting, and he about fell over. Can you imagine? 30,000, 50, 100,000 people chanting Hare Krishna mantra in unison? The demigods will come and shower flowers. Hare Krishna. I just hope I live long enough to see your success.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Sharakaya Sakshurmiritam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Samsara Dukha Jara Dupatitasya Kama Krodadina Kramakare Kavari Kritasya Durvasana Digaditasya Nirashrayasya Chaitanya Chandra Mamadei Padavalambam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So first of all, I'd like to offer my unlimited prostrate Dandavat Pranams in the dust of the lotus feet of my spiritual masters, Nityalila Pravishnu Vishnupa, Shishimachila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Shila Prabhupada, Nityalila Pravishnu Vishnupa, Shishimachila Gaur Govinda Goswami Maharaj, Nityalila Pravishnu Vishnupa, Shishimachila Bhaktivedanta Nayan Goswami Maharaj, Nityalila Pravishnu Vishnupa, Shishimachila Bhakti Rakshakshila Goswami Maharaj, all Rupanuga Guru Varga, all Vaishnavacharyas and all Vaishnav and Vaishnavis present here today, please accept my humble Dandavat Pranams, begging for your causeless mercy. So, we are talking about Kirtan, holy name. It reminds me that actually the quality is very important when we speak about chanting holy name, because there's many different stages of chanting. Like Haridas Thakur, he was the perfect chanter. He was chanting 3 lakhs and one very loud, one very soft, and one internally. So what most can you do than that? Nothing. But Rupa Goswami could not even say Krishna. He would say Krish, and then he will faint. So we want that one. We want to faint, you know. One time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri, he had this type of ecstatic emotions, you know, like his arms inside his body, like a tortoise. Tortoise. You remind me, yeah? I'm French, I'm not like those two. I can't speak as well as they. So then, it was very fragrant, and cows were coming and smelling his body. And Swarup Damodar, Roy Ramananda, very worried, where is our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Where is our Mahaprabhu? And then they found him finally. And to come to take Mahaprabhu outside of his internal absorptions, Swarup Damodar, Goswami, he chanted Hare Krishna in the ears of Mahaprabhu. You know this part? Yes. What happened then? Mahaprabhu was very disturbed. He said, what is this noise disturbing me? he couldn't take it because he was not there. He was over there, beyond this world. And he was maybe or definitely involved in some lila with Radha and Krishna maybe. So this name of this Harinam was very disturbing him. And he became a little angry, quite rejecting it. So the comments of our Vaishnavacharyas about that particular pastime is that we should not be so, pretending that we chant so nicely, that we are the one who chants the holy names very, very, my holy name, my way of chanting is so nice, so good, so advanced, so pure, like this, you know. Because Swarup Damodar Goswami is Lalita. And Lalita chanting in the ears of Mahaprabhu in the mood of Radharani. So you can imagine, there's no better activities than this. But we are also doing our kirtans, so humility is good, and it will make precedence. So we have to remember this. I'm not telling about what you have done. It's very, very beautiful. I was like very much, caught in that mood. I cannot chant like you. You are very, very beautiful chantings. But I see that by this chanting, like he was telling, you can go really, really beyond this world. You can go very, very deep. Because every syllables of this Maha Mantra has a very deep meaning and has a correspondent activities in transcendental Goloka Vrindavan. So we are lucky because this Maha Mantra is, you can, by chanting this Maha Mantra, associate with whoever type of deity you want. You can choose to associate with Ram, with Govinda, with Gopal, with Madhusudan, with Gopichana Vallabha. So many. You have to take yourself decision who you want to associate with. And you chant this mantra and then you associate with those deities that you want to worship or you want to take their association. So it is very, very compulsory that when we chant Hare Krishna, we have to think about Krishna. The Krishna that we want to associate is the one that will take us, according to our nature, he will take us there, where he is now. Like Mahaprabhu, I was telling Prabhuji maybe 2 days ago, that Mahaprabhu, after taking sannyas, he said, I want to go Vrindavan. And then he tried, after taking sannyas, running here and there, going west towards Vrindavan, But you know the story that Nityananda, he brought him back from this temple, Maheshwara, back to Shantipur, almost there. And then he told Mahaprabhu, said, oh, where is Vrindavan? Are we arrived? He said, yes, this is Yamuna. And then Prabhu, Chidananda Bano, Sadananda Sunu, Parapremata Dharma, he jumped into Yamuna. With his internal mood completely displayed. Then, coming out from the water, he saw Advaita Acharya. He said, oh, Advaita Acharya, how did you know I was in Vrindavan? Naturally. And Advaita Acharya said, you're not in Vrindavan. Here, this is Ganga. He said, but because you say Vrindavan, you have to know that Yamuna is also flowing here. Because according to the scriptures, Yamuna is flowing on the west side of Ganga because they mixed in Parad. So you are in Vrindavan. Whatever you are in Vrindavan. So in this way, he explained what was the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because Mahaprabhu say, I want to go Vrindavan, but Advaita Acharya said, this Vrindavan that you are talking about is not the locality, the place, the village, is the mood of Goloka Vrindavan. And then Bhakti Rakshakshita Maharaj, he explained that mood. Who knows that? Who have read this? You? Anybody? Very nice mood. He said there, in Vrindavan, devotees, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, Radhika, Lalita Vishaka, Subha, Sudam, Shridam, Madhusudan, Madhumanga. They are very, very, very high class of devotees. But they think they are very, very ordinary people. Very, very ordinary. And their life is extremely, extremely simple. There are big, big palaces like skyscrapers, like in Vaikuntha. There's no opulence, no Aishwarya there. So this is the mood of Vrindavan. So we have to enter into that mood. As it is there. It's very simple, but we have to find the mood. Because it is not easy to consider God to be an ordinary person for people who have our, grown up in those type of, moods of Christianity, stuff like that. One time I told one God sister, I said, stop thinking Krishna is God. Start to think that he is Nandanandan, Yashodanandan, Madhusudan. She said, oh, what you're talking about is impossible. It's possible. It's impossible. But this is the beginning of spiritual life. You have to forget about it and start to understand that Krishna is the son of Nanda Maharaj, and he has no responsibility. He has given all the responsibility to Nanda Maharaj, so he's carefree, And the way he walks, not like, like a Brahmana, like a Kshatriya, no, like a Vaishya. I'm not saying like a Shudra, no. It's like a Vaishya, like small steps, like this. Very, very sweet, very soft, And in this way, he catches the mind of everybody there, The gopis cannot think about anything else. And Yashodameya cannot let him go to the forest to graze the cows because they think that my little boy will get into trouble. So she puts an army around him to protect him at every step, to look what he's doing and not make any mistake. And so, in this way, Krishna spent the day in Vrindavan, and we can follow with our mind, Manmanam Baba, with love. We can follow this Krishna wherever he is, But the best part is now. What's the time now? When he goes to Radhakund. Because we said that the best place to chant Hare Krishna is Vrindavan, right? Where in Vrindavan? Radhakund. So that's why Raghunath Das Goswami, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, all they went there, chanting 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakhs, maybe more even. So we have to follow this, And we will get everything good. We will be the winners, Because what? Why? What and why? Because this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. He came to give this. Premarasa Niryas Kurite Ashvadan. This Premarasa, we cannot get it. This Madanakya Mahabhav of Srimati Radharani, Anarpitam Charim Chirat Karanavatirna Karo, Samarpayitum Unnatojvara Rasa, Swabhakti Sriyam. This Unnatojvara Rasa, this is the mood of Srimati Radharani, Madanakya Mahabhav. She is Madanakya Mahabhav Swarupini. She's a perfectional, personification of this Madanakya Mahabhav. So we cannot be like her. But Swabhakti Sriyam, the beauty of that mood is there. Like it's explained in Govinda Lilamrita, that, and Srila Narayana Maharaj used to explain this very, very detailed, that this Krishna is like tamal tree, very blackish. And this vine of golden vine is like Radharani around this tamal tree. But a golden vine without flowers, without manjaris, without birds, this is not so beautiful. So those manjaris are the beauty, Swa Bhakti Sriyam, of Swa, of that Unnatojvara Rasa. So we have to get into this, what happened now?
It's okay.
Okay. We have to get really into our full life into this. Not waste any time to do something else, Like the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, in his book, he has settled what is the goal. Radhe Radhe. Anyone? What is the goal? He said, what is the goal? And the goal is, he has set up the goal, and everything in which he has described in Chaitanya Charitamrita is how to achieve the goal. So we have to do the same thing. We have to set up the goal, and everything we do, try to achieve that goal. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to say, if you have deities, it's very good, because when you chant Hare Krishna, you can look at your deities. And the deities will reveal whatever you need to meditate upon on that very precise moment. So the deities, no different than Krishna, very, very merciful. And that mercy has no limit, because it is not cause, there's no cause. So it's transcendental mercy. So the mercy of what we can get, according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the descriptions of Krishna's mercy in the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, commented by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, says that we have to worship, Krishna wants us to worship him in Madhurya Ras. That is Raganuga Bhakti. Raganuga Bhakti. Ragamarga Bhakti Loke Korite Vacharam. So we are in Vaidhi Bhakti, okay, we follow all the principles, but with an eye on the path of Raganuga. And we should hear, like somebody who's very, very interested by the subject matter of what is going on in the spiritual world, like it is described in all those books that are forbidden to read for us in this moment. But we can do a little bit if we can swallow it or digest it, a little bit, you know. But one day you will have to die. If you cannot read these books, you will have to die. If I don't read this Govinda Lilamrita, then better I die. Then this is the way, this is the entrance door to read this book. Until you feel like this, don't read it. Or you can try a little bit. No problem. It's meant for that. So yeah, so the mercy of which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu speaks about, what Krishna wants for us to worship him in Madhurya Ras. And when Krishna will be very pleased, his mercy will come in the shape of giving himself his own darshan. He will give his own darshan. Because without Krishna giving his own darshan, we will never know what is his color, really, and what is his size, and how he looks like, how he is curved in Trilbanga, Lalita, three places bent, and so many other things, you know, the details of his face and everything. So when we get that darshan, then we got the mercy, Krishna's mercy. So we want that, you know. And that name will take us over there. Will take us there. That he said that the last thing that Srimad Bhagavatam is this Harinam Sankirtan. Yeah, but maybe one or two verses before, it speaks about also, as a conclusion, that I think Sukadeva Goswami is speaking to this Rajan. Tvam tu Rajan Marishyeti. You know this verse? Tvam tu Rajan Marishyeti. I can't remember. He said that, oh Rajan, oh King, Parikshit Maharaj, don't think you will die. Pashubudim iham jahi. This is animal consciousness. Don't think you will die. This is animal consciousness. Don't fix your mind in the spiritual world, Goloka Vrindavan, and don't come down to this level of existence to fulfill your needs or your necessities. This is the conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam also. So our mind should always be there. And there, that place is very, very dynamic. Nectar is flowing in all the directions there. Every atom is completely nourished with that nectar. Bhakti-Rakshakshita Maharaj explaining this. And we should also drink that nectar. Bhakti-Rakshakshita Maharaj said, we are the children of that nectar. We shouldn't expect to or try to get something less than that. We should get that nectar and nothing less than that. You know, we should not make compromise with anything less than that nectar. So that nectar will come in beautiful motion, activities
Emotion.
of
Emotion.
motion and emotions. But motion is a bad word also, I don't know in English, but it will come in, you know, our mind completely absorbed in the pastimes of Krishna or Radha and Krishna, you know. And Jiva Goswami and so many acharyas, they gave the meanings of this Mahamantra. You know, like Radharani is so sweet, so beautiful, her mood is so attractive that she attracts the mind of Krishna. And she takes him into the kunjas of Vrindavan, you know. So this is our meditation. Why not? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give this. We should try to do this, try to get into that. And this is where the mercy will be getting. We will get the mercy if we do this, you know. But not jumping onto the highest branch of the tree, trying to grab the fruit, without making any, you know, endeavors in between. No, we have to do according to our capacity, our nature, and we have to associate with those who can help us to make that, you know, things possible. We have to get into those people, to get into association of devotees who can help us to get near as possible to those things. Because Radha and Krishna, they are having their conjugal pastimes there. And they don't care about anything else. Even the other gopis is not so important for Krishna. Even if they glorify him on his way to some places, Rasamandal, he will not care and he will not even hear about it. Why? Because his mind is absorbed in Radharani. And he's always in separation from Radharani. And Radharani is always in separation from Krishna. So when they meet, then this moment is so powerful, so sweet, so deep, so amazing. So this Ananda and Rasa is like flowing like a volcano there. So if we can go there and taste a little drop of that, it will be very, very nice for us. Very, very nice. And I want to encourage everybody to go for it. Don't think about others will tell you, oh, you are Sahaja. Don't become Sahaja. Don't think I am Sahaja. I'm not. I hate that. But this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give. It's very high. And he gave to the lowest. But he made it easy to get. Because otherwise, why he should come and give something which is not possible to get? You understand? If it's not possible to get, why is coming just for this? He just came for this. So he is giving. And we have to take just by the power of our faith, Shraddha. So Shraddha is very important. I'm not going to talk about Shraddha now because it's a big subject. The Chatur son, they told Narada Muni, this is the first thing that you have to develop, Shraddha, to understand. Because Shraddha will help you to communicate with Krishna. You know? So once you are in touch with Shraddha, which is a part of our heart, which is the only transcendental element we can help us to communicate with Krishna, then don't leave it. When you have Shraddha, you don't leave it. With that Shraddha, you can be... Shraddha will take you face to face with Krishna. She will take you face to face to Krishna. You just follow it. Because this nature of Shraddha is like that. It's the only way to communicate with Krishna, is the Shraddha. So that's why Shraddha also, according to Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Jaiva Dharma, is the first step, like the first unit on getting into the following in the footsteps of the eternal Ragatmika Jhans, the eternal associate Nitya Parikar of Radha and Krishna. When you have Shraddha, it is the first unit, and there's another 100s to come. Then Shraddha, then Nishtha. Nishtha is a real Shraddha, then Ruchi, Ashakti Bhav. So all those things, they come by mercy. When you are got in Nishtha, this is very great. You have already crossed anartha nivritti, which is not so difficult, so easy. But when you are Nishtha, everything else is based on mercy. You cannot say, I will get Ruchi, I will get Asakti, I will get Bhav. It will only come by mercy. So at that time you become very humble. You say, oh, I got here by the mercy of Krishna, then I cannot do anything else and depend on him. And this will work very, very nice, because they want to give. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be behind everything, and he will give everything to us. He wants that we should taste it, we should grasp it, we should embrace it, we should have it, we should enjoy it, and we should be happy and taste this Anandam and Rasa as much as possible. And there is no limit, so therefore, it's a very, very auspicious path. We are very happy. Today, it's time for prasadam. I see. I will stop to speak, otherwise everybody become already very hungry. And if I don't stop speaking, everybody will become very angry. So, Hare Krishna.
Shri Krishna.